For years, Honda was known for front-wheel drive, environmentally friendly gas-sipping econo cars. But the S2000 took a slightly different direction than usual, and Honda created an incredibly well-balanced rear-drive convertible sports car.
The S2000 is a real force in this racing now.
That's a heck of a car. And to try to chase it down, the front-wheel drive car is hard work.
Front-wheel drive cars are econo boxes that are not race cars. If you were to design a race car on a clean sheet, no one ever makes a front-wheel drive car. It's inherently a poor way to get around a racetrack fast. An S2000 is a pure sports car where it's rear drive, 50-50 weight distribution, inboard double wishbone suspension. Everything that you would sort of design to be a handling car is in it inherently.
I think it's probably the best car out of the showroom onto the track.
It doesn't take much to turn an S2000 into a track-capable beast, and most of the drivers are pretty loyal to the brand.
It's my third Honda S2000, even though it's an older one, but it's prepped as a race car. First of all, you have to strip it up, put in all the safety cage, all that, but modification-wise, it's all suspension and tires and brakes. The engine is dead stock. Driveline is stock. I'm fairly new to it. It's only my fourth or fifth race. I've been doing time trials for almost 3.5 years and been dominating that. I thought, well, I should try something else and try racing. Primarily to get it to go fast for the track, it's just suspension and tires. You don't have to touch the engine, just a few minor mods, and they're really fast. In a rear-wheel drive car, you have all the more traditional characteristics. It's not like a front-wheel drive.
But a front-wheel drive car is dynamically inferior car to race. People started racing them, and then they call them race cars. Driving a rear-wheel drive, there's nothing like trying to tame that Tiger with the oversteer that it produces and the satisfaction. It's a harder vehicle to drive, but it's more rewarding to drive. I've owned this car since new, since March 2000, and I've slowly made it a track car and then a full race car. There's essentially nothing left that's stock. Of course, I can make it crazier, but then it wouldn't be legal. This is a fast track. This is the fastest track. It takes a lot of balls to go fast here. That turn 9 just separates the men from the boys. Today, I qualified third, just a few tenths of a second. Two front-wheel drive guys, Derek and Lepper, were just in front of me, just a couple tenths back.
I seem to have made progress mainly in the suspension area. I've radically changed the amount of negative camber I'm running on the front. The tyre temperatures tell me that it shouldn't work, but it actually feels faster and it is faster. Differential in speed, though, is actually fairly minor. It's a lot better than you might think. My front-wheel drive Civic is quite a few hundred pounds lighter than the S2000s, and I actually make more power than them as well.
They should be banned. If you want to push your friend in a wheelchair, you can race anything. Front-wheel drive cars on racetracks is like, you know, it's not racing.
Looking at the times of the Honda Cup, the S2000 has dominated so far. I think 9 out of the 10 races or 12 races, the S2000 has won.
This event is the final. There'll be some pretty close racing in the race this afternoon. Should be quite competitive today.
With a rivalry like this, it's hard to believe there's less than 10 cars racing out here. Derek Stevens and a little orange Civic started first, with Jeff Lepper in the number 65 Integra in second, and Marty Roush's S2000 in third. When the flag drops, the cars hit the track for the final race of the season.
The weakness of the Civic is that the tyres tend to get slower throughout the race from the heat, whereas the S2000s can pretty much maintain the same pace throughout the whole race.
Derek was able to battle the heated tires, maintaining his number 1 position, with Marty Roush's S2000 hot on his tail.
Generally speaking, a lot of times those guys, they abuse their tires, the front-wheel drive, they got all the weight and power. Maybe I'll be there for the checkered flag, we'll see. Just got to drive well and see what happens.
Unfortunately, Marty's S2000 broke, sending him spinning over the hill and into a DNF. In the end, Derek Stevens pulled out the win in his front-drive Honda Civic. Interestingly, Jeff Lepper and his consistent Integra will take the season championship despite the S2000's dominance. For more information on the Honda Cup, check out our website at redline-tv.com.
Hemis, honeys, and hot rods. You've been watching the Castrol Engine Block on Speed.
Top Fuel Hydro Racing is in full force, and this season has found itself some new standouts.